Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. It's 6:38 a.m. and it's time to go into a conversation about our new art on set this week. As we continue our collaboration with the Art Society of Trinidad and Tobago, Damion Phillip joins us this morning. Good morning, Damion.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. Great to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you with us on the show, and it's a pleasure to see your incredible artwork as well. But before we get into your pieces this morning, let's chat a bit about you, because you are a multifaceted creative.
Yes, I am. Part of my journey as an artist kind of started, well, actually in secondary school. But secondary school, my focus was mainly like pencil drawings and that sort of thing. And I was not confident enough then to showcase my artwork. So there were people who was, if they happened to see my sketch pad or my sketchbook, they would be real impressed. You know, like, oh, this looking real good, and I would be like, you know, like, no, I'm not confident enough to show it off. It's only probably until around 2013, I was pursuing my postgrad diploma in education, and part of the course required us to do an elective. But being as part of the performing arts, visual and performing arts, we were required to do something outside of our area of expertise. Now, I'm actually a music teacher by profession. So anything outside of music we're required to do. Some people pursued a lot of things like photography and all the things, and I decided, you know what, let me try to stick with something that I'm kind of close to my heart, which was art. And I explored it a little more in terms of starting to do color and that sort of thing. I saw the assistance of a couple of persons who were in the art field, somebody, namely Edgar Jacob, Noreen Peters, Melissa Walcott, and they assisted me in kind of formulating my pieces, because in the course we had to do the elective and also do the work and do a presentation to a panel. Right, I was able to produce 5 pieces for that presentation. I mean, I even impressed myself, right, as well. And at that point, I made a decision, you know what, let me try to pursue it a little more and continue working and growing. And one of the plans was actually to have an exhibition in the next 3 years, which was 2013. That didn't come to fruition, but I did have an exhibition, actually 2, one in 2022 and one last year in 2023, but both were online, because coming out of the COVID pandemic, we were still, you know, going through the restrictions and all of that. So I had 2 online exhibitions. The exhibitions were primarily focused around spiritual Baptist liberation. So the piece were kind of spiritual Baptist themes. So 2022 and 2023. And well, here we are now. I currently actually have 4 pieces in the Rotunda Gallery, Unity in Diversity exhibition. And well, I have a couple of pieces here on display. So that is kind of, in a nutshell, my journey as an artist.
Excellent. Now, one of the things you mentioned would have been the themes. Your theme was around spiritual Baptist or Shelter Baptist Liberation Day, given the time. What about your themes in general? Is there a particular theme that you tend to stick to? I mean, looking at these pieces here this morning, we see a lot of water.
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons why I brought these pieces to kind of stick to one theme, because I didn't want to have, you know, bring pieces out of kind of all over the place. I'm particularly attracted to like seaside, seascape, landscape, and those sort of scenes. So the pieces that you see on display here carry that theme of water, the beach, and that kind of thing.
Well, they're absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
You also touched on some mediums that you use. What mediums do you prefer to use at this point in your journey?
Well, I've explored watercolors. I'm always preference with pencil and charcoal and that sort of thing. But I tend to mix it up. So some of these pieces are mixed media, and some are actually watercolor pieces.
Well, let's start with the piece that's right behind you with the overturned boots, Phillip.
Yeah.
What is the name of this piece, and walk us through how you created it?
The name of this piece is, I think it's Sally Bay.
Okay.
Right, because this picture was actually taken on Sally Bay Shore. I visited there on a staff line, and I was very intrigued with this particular scenery, and I took a snapshot, a photo of it, and I decided to produce it as an artwork, as an art piece.
You definitely captured it very well, just taking a look there at where the river mouth comes to the beach as well. And this next piece, I'm going to just jump the gun and say that this is Pigeon Point.
Yes, absolutely.
And Did you do the same process of taking a photo and then working from that, or was this from memory?
Yeah, this was a reference photo that I used, and the reference photo at the point in time, I think this photo was photographed by a friend of mine, and I told him, I said, "A thief in this picture," right? Because I liked how it was laid out, and I decided to, attempt it as an artwork piece. The challenge in it for me was the rocks on the bottom of the artwork there, those rocks, to kind of capture the essence of what the rocks would actually look like.
Yeah, you did an excellent job, Damion. How long did it take you to create this piece?
Probably about a couple of months. But the thing about it is, with some pieces, depending on because of not consistently doing work, some pieces will take a little longer than others.
Right.
Sometimes if I decide, I'm sitting down to do a piece, it might take a couple of hours and I'll finish a piece. And then some pieces will take a couple of weeks, some pieces will take a couple of months. Actually, recently, I completed about 1 or 2 pieces that I would have sent forward as to be chosen for the Rotunda Gallery. Right, and those pieces were like years, like 2014, 15, and I only actually finished them a couple of weeks ago. So it depends on the mood that I'm in. So sometimes I'll start a piece and then just leave it.
Yeah.
And then some other pieces I'll sit down with it consistently and it will just be completed in a couple of hours.
And that's beautiful, because then you have all these different energies going into your painting, which definitely can bring it to life, such as this next one, which is so vibrant by all means. Let's talk a little bit about this piece.
The name of this piece is Boat in the Harbour. And I think what attracted me to it was the light sources, how the reflection of the sky, the evening sky sometimes with the sun, and it reflects across the clouds and gives it those different colors, and the reflection of those same colors on the water. That is what actually attracted me to do this piece as an artwork, or attempt it as an artwork.
And what mediums did you use in this piece?
This one is watercolor. This is totally watercolor.
It's absolutely beautiful. And was it from a photo as well, or from a memory?
This was from a photo. I saw this somewhere and I would just save the photo, and I was like, this will look good as an art piece.
And definitely it does. And this final one that we have on set this morning, quite interesting. What's the story behind this piece, Damion?
All right, the story behind this piece, I visited Grenada, right? I was an adjudicator for the Panorama competition. And the hotel that I stayed at, Koyoba, I believe Koyoba Hotel, which is on Grand Anse, the shore of Grand Anse. And when you walk across the landscape and the ground, and you go onto the beach is like right outside there. And when you stand on the shoreline and you look across, you see the mountains, and you see the foreground with this tree, and then the mountains in the distance, and all those houses and so on. And I took this photo, and here it is as an art piece, but this is a mixed media piece. So it is a combination of watercolor and soft pastels.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. Now, one of the things, you just actually segued into it. You were in Grenada to judge for Carnival. You have a master's in Carnival arts, in Carnival studies rather.
Yes, I do.
You are also a music educator and in arts and cultural management. Do you think that all of these things have contributed to your success as an artist?
Actually, I believe so. And as you would have indicated before, kind of multifaceted. There are some people, even up to now, there are some people who don't know I'm an artist, by the way, because they will see me, teaching music, being in the field of music, and, doing things along that line. But the art side of me, I think, there's also room for learning. I also believe I'm still learning and exploring it. But I think, being my background in music and all the things I would have been involved in culture and all that kind of contributes, or not kind of, but it does contribute to me being an artist, or my artwork.
We can see it throughout all of these beautiful pieces that you have on set. If we would like to get more information or get in touch with you, how can we, Damion?
I can be reached at 766-5682. I also have my email address as damionphillip@hotmail.com, and I also have 2 social media pages that is dedicated to my artwork, so you can find my stuff on, if you choose to see more of my work, on Damion Phillip Art on both Facebook and Instagram.
And your display at the Rotunda Gallery, how long is that running until?
That runs until the 13th of September.
Okay. Okay, excellent. Well, Damion, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for gracing our set with your beautiful artwork for the week.
Thank you.
We will definitely enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
Damion Phillip joining us this morning with beautiful artwork that's going to be on set all week. Stay tuned. There's more coming up on the Now Morning Show after this break.